in 1863, the government of Madras announced a competition for the best design for a Senate House and a Presidency College, both belonging to the University of Madras. 17 entries were received by 1865, and the best was that of an engineer in the Puri division of the Bengal Presidency. This was Robert Fellowes Chisholm, who moved over to Madras thereafter, became consulting architect to the government of Madras, and took on the task of building the Presidency College. He was to have a long tenure in our city, and during the process left behind a series of landmark buildings, all of which were to transform the skyline of our city forever. The first of these was the Presidency College, built in an Italianate design. Then came the PWD building fronting the Chepauk Palace, this one designed in a Scottish baronial fashion. The Governor of Madras, Lord Napier, took a great liking to Chisholm, and thereafter there was no looking back as far as his career in this city was concerned. Chisholm was asked to design the gates to the Buckingham and Carnatic Mills, then coming up in Puliyantopu. He was asked to redesign the frontage of the Madras Club, which was then standing where the Express Avenue Mall now is. Somewhere along the way, he also designed a remarkably ugly police commissioner's office at the instance of his friend, Lieutenant Colonel W.S. Driver, who was then the Superintendent of Police, Government of Madras. Chisholm then transformed the old police courts at Royapeta into Amir Mahal, a suitable residence for the Prince of Arcot, and this he did in the style of an Italian villa, copying the design of Queen Victoria's Osborne House on the Isle of Wight. Then came two projects that would transform Chisholm's ideas forever. Napier asked him to go to Madurai to renovate the Thirumalai Nayak Mahal, and once there he fell completely in love with what he defined as the Indo-Saracenic style. Coming back, he began work on the University Senate House, which he completed in 1878. It emerged as a curious but beautiful amalgam of various styles. A smaller example of this, built at around the same time, was a tower that connected the two wings of the Chepauk Palace, the Humayun and Khalsa Mahal. To fill the interiors of Senate House, Chisholm began working on a bewildering variety of stained glass, mosaics and painted canvases. All of these were done at the Madras School of Art, now the Government College of Arts and Crafts, Poonamali High Road, of which Chisholm became the principal in 1877. In 1872, Chisholm embarked on yet another project, this one in Trivandrum, where he worked on the Napier Museum. He then fell in love with the Travancore style of roofing and concluded that it was a very beautiful form of domestic art. Coming back to Madras, he designed the GPO on First Line Beach, which he completed in 1884. Thereafter, Chisholm worked on the Victoria Public Hall between 1887 and 1889, the tower of the Central Station, and the main offices of Pior and Sons. A lesser-known building that Chisholm designed was the reading room inside the Madras Museum. It still survives as part of the main building complex. Another building of Chisholm's that no longer exists in the city was the Pioneer Laundry, located inside the LIC building complex on Mount Road. At one time, it was the owner of the entire property, which spanned 100 grounds. This bungalow, which existed even prior to Chisholm's arrival in Madras, was transformed under his care into the Masonic Lodge for the Lodge of Perfect Unanimity, and later became the home of the District Grand Lodge of Madras before it moved in 1917 to its present premises in Egmore. Chisholm had designs of becoming the superintendent engineer of the Madras Presidency, but that was not to be. The government did not extend its cooperation, and he resigned in 1887, moving over to Baroda, where he helped in the completion of the magnificent Lakshmi Vilas Palace. He then went on to design a number of buildings in that princely state. By the time Chisholm left India in 1902, the Indo-Saracenic style that he had helped make popular had become the rage all over the country. Even New Delhi, on which work began in 1911, would feature several elements of the Indo-Saracenic style. Chisholm passed away in England in 1915. His buildings in Madras stay on as a testimony to his genius.